this video, we're going to be designing a mobile website homepage using Adobe Photoshop. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Cjam, and there are multiple reasons for which you would want to design a website using Photoshop first, right? You could be hired by an agency to design the look of a website to see how the website will be laid out, so that design can then be given to the website developer to actually build that website. You can also design a website to add to your portfolio to say that you are able to design websites, or you can even design your own website in Photoshop to see how it would look, to see what your ideal website should look like. Now today we're going to be designing a mobile website in Photoshop just so we can put it on a cell phone mock-up to use in our portfolio to say that we can design websites, right? And that cell phone mock-up that we're going to be using is from Envato Elements, and Envato is the sponsor of today's video, but we'll talk a little bit more about them later on. So with all that out of the way, let's just go ahead and jump into Photoshop. So here we are in Adobe Photoshop, and this is the mock-up that I got from Envato Elements. And what I want to do when we're done designing is I want to put our website designs on these two screens, obviously, right? And if you look over here in your layers, you'll see that you have the front design for the phone that's at the front, and the back design for the phone that's at the back. And all you have to do is just double click on this smart object layer here, and you will get your phone screen, and you can just go ahead and design your website within this screen, right? And if I go ahead and I just want to turn this on, you can see that's the screen that we're about to design in, right? And then this is the second screen right here. So let me just turn those off, or let's just leave it on. Let's go back into another project, and then we can literally just start designing our website here, right? Now, essentially, a website has, on mobile, a website has the logo and it has the menu bar, you know, the three strokes or three dots, however you want to design it. And then it has the top of the page, right? The body portion of the website. I couldn't remember the name. So you have the header with the logo and the menu, and then you have the body, right? And then everything else that you want to put within the body of that page. And you can also do the footer. But when you're on mobile, you won't necessarily see everything all the way down to the footer. So let's just go ahead and let's do the logo, let's do the menu, and let's do the top part of the body. We'll design together and you'll see exactly what I mean, right? So let me just go ahead and just turn off everything that we don't want here. Like we don't want this background or that background. And you can see that we even have the home button here on this Galaxy S21, right? So what I want to do first is I want to just use one of my Learn Share colors here, maybe the orange, maybe the blue, and I just want to create a solid color right here with that blue, and I want to keep all the times and the home button right here, right? And I want to just go ahead and let's just make up a logo. But before I do that, let me just go ahead and hit Ctrl and S to save this. Oh, well, that's saving the smart object that we're working in, right? When we save that, we'll see the changes reflected in the main project here, right? Which is what we have. Cool. But what I want to do is I want to save the main project. So let me just go ahead and hit Ctrl, Shift, and S to save it as something else. Let's do LSPV mobile website design, right? All right, it's LSPV 089. All right, almost at 100 episodes, guys. Save, and then we can continue designing. Let's go back into our screen. And let me just make a logo. Let's just make a logo. This is way too small. Let's make it white. Let's up the size. Let's just say our logo is like LSPV, right? Let's just mark out some guides. That way we keep our designs uniform, right? Let me just bring out some guides. All right, so this is the middle of our design, 540 pixels. And then let's say our clock up here is about, let's say our clock on our notifications will always be right here, right? Then let's say after that, the header portion of our website and the menu icon will be right here, right? And this middle of this space is where we want it to fit perfectly. Let me just see what this is. This is 140. Let's stop it at 340, and then let's cut that in two. All right, so now our menu and our logo will be right there in the middle. So just to keep it like organized and symmetrical and aligned perfectly, let's do some guides on the vertical side. Let's do 60 pixels. All right, because how I'm calculating all of this is if you hit Control Shift and I, or Alt Control and I, you can see the document size, and the document size is 1080 pixels wide by 2400 pixels tall, right? So I know that initially when I just began, 1080 pixels divided by 2 is 540. That's why I stopped this guide right here at 540, right? And then I know that I want this guide over here to be 60 pixels from 0, and then on the opposite side, I'll have to minus 60 from 1080, which is the width of the document, and 60 from 1080 is 1020. So that's why I left this guide right here at 1020, right? Let's Control and S to save. And let's go ahead and look at the phone and see what we have. See, the LSPV is already there. And let's continue. Let's go back in. Now we can put the LSPV on this guide right here. And we'll just keep the menu on this same line, right? Let's go ahead and just hit U for our shape tool. And then let's look for our rectangle tool. And let's just draw out some like really thin rectangles. Let's do 130 pixels by like 10 pixels high, right? And let's fill it with white. And when you're designing a website, especially when you're designing it to send to a designer, you'll have to make note of each element that you put on your website so that you can tell the designer that, hey, this should be X pixels high by X pixels wide, right? Now, for the fact that I'm making this menu icon, I know that we want 3 strokes, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit Control and J twice to duplicate it. Control and J, Control and J. And then I'm just going to draw it down like that. And then I'm just going to draw the other one down like that. But maybe I need to put a little bit more space in it, all right? And then I can just, let's put this one in the middle. And as I drag down, like I can just select all 3 of them and then go up top, right? With my move tool selected by pressing V. And then I can just like distribute them evenly, right? Distribute them vertically evenly. And then with all of them selected, let me turn off the guides, Control and semicolon. You can see it's right here. I can just go ahead and group all of these rectangles, Control and G. And then when I move it around, they're all moving together, right? And then I can align them to that same center line that the LSPV is on, right? And if I wanted to, I can put another rectangle behind these rectangles by hitting U on my keyboard, changing the fill to orange, and I can go ahead and, wait, the fill didn't change? Well, no, it's changed. I can go ahead and put it behind that group, right? And then I can just hit V and just align it and the group together. Hit V, hold Shift and select both the group. Let me rename this group by double clicking it to Menu, Lines, and this rectangle, Menu, Icon, Background, right? And then I can select both of them and hit V for my move tool and align the vertical and horizontal centers. And what I can do next is if I select my shape, my orange shape, and hit U for the shape tool, you'll see that I got some dots here in the corners. And if I pull on these dots, I can curve the edges, right? I can curve the edges of the menu icon, right? What I think I want to do is I probably want to make it taller. So let me hit Control and T. Let me pick one of these here and let me hold Alt. Well, hold Alt and Shift and it will just extend it vertically for me, right? And I think that looks better. Maybe we can shrink it, but let's just go ahead and group both of them. Control and G, and let's name it Menu Icon, right? And then let's just make sure it's aligned on the same line as the LSPV, right? And touching the same edge, the edge guide, that way it's not too big. Let me hit Control and T well, not touching the edge guide, that way it's aligned. Sorry, not that it's not too big. But now if I want to make it small because it's too big to me, I'm just gonna hit Control and T, and I'm just gonna like size it down. Just size it down a little bit, right? And maybe I can even make the lines smaller. Control and T, just like hold Shift and Alt and just bring them in like that, right? Just like that. And then I can bring it back out to the edge. And remember, this is all subjective. Like you can design whatever it is you want to design. You can have your look, right? However you want your website to look, you can do whatever you want. So now that I have my menu, you can even remember you can turn off the background if you want, right? No pressure. So if you want, you can leave it on. If you want, you can turn it off, right? Now let's just go ahead and just let's make a home page. Like the top of the home page, the body portion, right? No, so we have our guides, Control and semicolon to turn them back on. And we know that our body should start right here just to keep symmetry, right? And if you also want, you can put like a background behind your header right here. So I'm just showing you guys that you have options, right? So what I'm going to do next is I'm just gonna go ahead and hit T for my type tool. And I'm just gonna write something like graphic design tutorials on like YouTube, because that's what we do here at Learn Share, right? And then I can move it over, right? And then let me reduce the vertical spacing. Oops. All right. Let's make this white. Or if you wanted, what you can do is after the blue of the menu right here, right? You can go ahead and make this block right here have a different color. You can even put a photo behind it, right? So if I wanted to just like import a photo, you can do that as well. But first, let's make a shape by hitting U for our rectangle tool. And we're just clicking on the guides, and your shape will literally just snap to the guides. See that? It's literally just snapping to the guides, right? And let's make it about 500 pixels tall. You can just go over to your options right here, change it to 500 pixels tall. You can let's put the text in front of it. You can even change the color if you want. See that? That way, Control and semicolon to turn off the guides. This portion of your website will have a different color, right? But as I mentioned, you can put a photo here. You can do anything you want right here to really get creative. Obviously, I'm not going to leave this as yellow because it's way too bright, right? You can just make it white if you want. That works perfectly fine. And now I can put a photo behind here if I wanted to, because that's how websites are designed, right? You have blocks or strips, and then you have stuff within those blocks and strips, you know, like photos, buttons, icons, whatever it is you want to design. That's the basic principle of website design, blocks, right? So let's just go ahead and see what else we can add here. If you wanted to make this block longer, you can. Let's hit Control and S to save all that we've done. And let's go back to the mockup and see what we have so far. See that? This is pretty cool, right? And if you wanted, you can put a photo all the way up here beyond the header, and then to see how your website will look. So you have options. You have full control when designing here in Photoshop. Let's make this a bit taller. Let's do 600. And then let's just drag this down, right? So about there. And if you wanted, you can just literally duplicate. Let's rename this rectangle. Let's rename it to block 1. Let's duplicate it by hitting Control and J. Let's name it block. Let's name the other one block 2. Let's change the color to orange possibly, because you know the Learn Share colors are orange and blue. And then you can literally add any other element you want. Like you can add like a paragraph, right? Let's press T for a text tool. And before I add that paragraph, let me turn on back my guides, Control and semicolon. And in addition to having the guides here on the edges, you can have guides for where you want your text to stop. So you can have your text right here in line with the logo. But if you didn't want that, you can add some more guides, right? You can add some more guides, and then you can say that, hey, you don't want anything to pass here, right? You don't want any text to pass right here. So if I wanted to just like, wait, let me calculate this properly. 60 and 120, oh, that's 60. All right, cool. 60 and 60 is 120. And then if you don't want the text to be in line, so you want the logo this wide and the menu, and I want the text inside and down, right? Just so the logo and the menu are like the dominant forces outside of the design, on the edge of the design. So that's a cool way to look at it as well, right? And if I wanted, I can add some text now by hitting T and just like dragging out some placeholder text, right? Literally just placeholder text. Let me size it down because it's way too big. Let me change the weight. And a key point to note in website design as well is your headings, like the graphic design tutorials on YouTube, that's a heading, right? And then the body text, the paragraph text, like what I'm doing now, that shouldn't be the same weight or size as your body, as your heading text, right? So like this shouldn't be the same weight and size, meaning big and bold, as this, obviously, right? So I can just drag this down. Let me duplicate this. I just held Alt and just like drag it down. And your headings can be like the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They should be the same distance from the edge of your block within every block, right? To keep, that's another point of website design. You just want to keep everything uniformed and organized in your layout, right? And then you can do like another block can be like who we are, right? But I'm not necessarily going to do all of this like all the way down. I just want to show you like basic, like the techniques in how you're laying out your website, and then you will decide how you want your design to look. Let me save it, Control and S to save. See that? But that's not what I'm going to do for all of this. I'm literally just going to add a photo to the first block, because as you can see, this display is really tall, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the orange, turn off the who we are and the placeholder text, turn off the white, make the graphic design white, and add the placeholder text, move up the placeholder text, sorry. Let's make it like a one-liner or 2 lines, right? And then I'm going to design a button to fit right underneath this. And what you can do for a button is go ahead to your rectangle tool, your shape tool, by pressing U, and then you're just going to draw out a little rectangle like that. Make note of the size, right? Remember, the size is important. I mean, this isn't a web design class, but it's a design class, right? So I'm just using 300 pixels by 50 pixels, and what I'm going to do is change the fill, turn off the fill, and turn on the stroke. I'm giving it a border instead, and then I'm just going to curve the edges by about 30 pixels, and then I'm going to make the stroke about 5 pixels, maybe not so heavy. Let's do 3. And then I'm just going to write something inside this text, inside this shape. Let's say watch videos. No, because I'm talking about graphic design videos on YouTube, right? Let's make it 24, and then let's put it like, let's align it with the button shape, and let's group both of them as we have them selected here. Control and G. Let's name it button, and we're going to organize our layers. Let me just delete everything that I don't want. We're going to organize them, obviously. Graphic design is at the top, placeholder text, button. I mean, you can even write something like quality Photoshop, or the best Photoshop tutorials on the planet. Just because we can, right? And then let's move the button up. Where's the button? Let's move it up here. Let's align it to the middle. Let's align this to the middle. All right, and there we are so far. Where is our block? Let's see where our block is. Let me change the block color, or let me just turn off the fill on the block and add a stroke. That way I can see where the block, how much space the block is taking up. And because I added more stuff, the block needs to be longer, right? So I'm hitting Control and T and then holding Shift and just dragging down one of the edges, right? Just like that. And then I can go fetch a photo and literally add a photo right here, right? So let's go ahead and hit Control and S. Well, actually, let me turn off the top info and then let me extend block 1 by hitting Control and T. And then let me just hold Shift and just drag block one to be extended all the way to the top. Is it all the way to the top? Yeah, all the way to the top. And then let me turn on the fill on block 1. Then let me turn off the stroke. Then let me turn it back blue and see what we got. So with the stroke back on, all of block 1 will be up here. And let me turn off where are the menus? Where's the LSPV? Okay, let me group both of these and just name it like top menu. So here I have my top menu, and I can just go ahead and move this up. Let me turn on the guides, because now that I've turned off the top info, you know, the battery info and such, let me just go ahead and move this up to about there. LSTV over like that. And remember, you can always turn off the menu background, right? You can always turn that off, no pressure. And then let's move all of this up like so, because obviously we've moved everything up, right? And then let me turn off this and see what I got. All right, this is looking much better without the top info, right? So I'm really liking how this looks. And then I can go ahead and touch block 2, which is the orange right here. I can make it go to the edge of block 1, which is like right here, right? And then let me turn on back the who we are. Where is it? Why is it not? Oh, it's wait, what color is it? Where is it? Where is the who we are? It's saying it's right here. Is it blue? Oh, it's blue. Who we are. Let's do who am I? Or let's do who is Cjam. Who is Cjam, right? And then let's make that block 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me turn off that, and I can go ahead and add a photo of myself right here to block 2, right? And I can also add like another button that says learn more. Let me just duplicate this button, Control and J. Let me add like a placeholder text like so. Oops. And we want to keep it the same size as the placeholder text, or the best Photoshop tutorial on the planet. This text, we want it to be the same size as this, right? So it's Netflix. So it's Netflix sans regular, 28 points. Let's do the same thing here. Let's do 28. Auto for the vertical spacing. Regular, right? And it's not all caps, and we turn off hyphenate. Let me just delete all this extra read all about it stuff, and then let's have this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 go there, and the button, let's change this to learn more. As in learn more about Cjam. And even though this has less text than the watch videos now, the buttons should be the same size all throughout your design, right? All right, so let me just move this up. How far from this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? How far is the first button? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, cool. Let me just name the sections. That way I'm not, because this is looking way too jumbled for me. So we have button, graphic design, then the best Photoshop. Let's make all of that like block 1. Let's name that. Let's literally name that block 1. Right? Let's do the other one and name it block 2. Like who is Cjam and all of that. Alright. And I can literally clip a photo of myself to this like second block right here. But first let me just like group it all and then move it down. Alright. Now if I wanted to, I can fetch a photo of myself and just clip it to this orange, right? Let me go ahead and do that. Here's a photo of me. Let me just maybe I should have used a different photo. But if I right click on it and hit create clipping mask, you can see me right there. Obviously that's like taking up way too much space. Like I'm too zoomed in, right? Let me try and find a different one. Let's try this one. Let's right click create clipping mask, and I think this probably fits better. It's just that I'll probably have to change the font color from white. I'm just rotating it a bit to like let it fit, or to let it look like straight. Let me just go ahead and just change the text to blue. Let me add a, wait, let me just turn down the opacity of this photo. Yeah, that works, right? Ish, kinda, maybe. Let me size it up with Control and T. Let's just move me like off to the side or something. I don't know, but like you get the idea, right? Alright, let me, hold on. Oops, where am I? Control Shift and Z to redo. Let me move me back over into the middle. Should this be like who am I? Let's just do who am I? Who am I? Alright, let's change it back to white. Let's change them both back to white. I mean, like my photos aren't like perfect, but like you get the point, right? Let's go ahead and save this and see what it looks like on our design. What do you guys think? I think I want to put a laptop photo up here. Anyway, let's save this. Let's close block 2. Top menu, we're looking much more organized over here. Control and S to save. Let's go back to our mockup and see what we have. All right, see that? See that? I can put a nice like laptop photo right here. That would be pretty cool. What do you guys think? But before I do that, let me put like another block here. Let's duplicate this from block 2, this orange, and let's just make it like block 3. Let's make it white. Let's just make it like fill the entire thing. And then we can do like a get in touch, right? Like contact. Like we're just putting some stuff that way we can like have things on there. Right? Alright, so we're duplicating the who am I and the placeholder text. Control and J, we're just dragging them. Where is it? Here? Alright, let's name this group it all. Selected them all. Name it block 3. And then let's move it down. Wait. Yeah, let's move it down. And then because it's white, let's change it to, wait, where, oh, there it is. And let's change this to like get in touch or something like that. All right. And then this placeholder text can be like really short because like it's pretty straightforward. And then one, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Is this the same width or did I like move it? Did I like put it in the middle? I think I put it in the middle, but it's fine. Let's see what we got on the home page or on the phone screen. Pretty nice, right? Then let's like make a little contact form, right? So we're literally gonna do the same thing with the button. We're just gonna find one of the buttons and we're gonna copy this rectangle shape, Control and J to duplicate it, drag it down to block 3. Let's duplicate the learn more as well because we want that too, right? We can use that as the field title. Let's change the color from blue to orange. Where is it? Oh, where is the rectangle? Oh, it's still up there. All right, cool. All right, the difference with this, with the button and the search bars is that, not the search bar, the text boxes is that we're gonna make them like wider, right? So let's go ahead and hit U for a shape tool and let's make the width like 500, right? And let's change this font text right here. So like name, email, right? And message, name, and then let's where is it? All right, let's name this text box. Control and J. I selected the name and the text box, the name text and the text box, and just like renamed it, right? Name, email, and message is what I said, right? All right. So let's just duplicate the email one more time and the text box, and then let's just drag it down and message. Oops. And obviously the message one has to be like bigger. The text box for the message has to be bigger, right? I'm just Control and T for my control options, my transform options, and then I'm just holding Shift and just making it like bigger, right? And then let's select them all. Let's select them all. Oops. Let's select them all and send. A send button is what we want. So let me duplicate the button from the top, or no, from block 2, Control and J. Let's drag it down to block 3, and then let's drag it down here. Let's change, I can just like change the color of, I can just add a color overlay, right? If I wanted to. Or I can just go in individually and change like the actual colors, right? So let's do that. Let me go into the button, change the text to, well, the text can stay white. Let me make the rectangle. Let me turn off the stroke and let me add a blue fill, right? What do you guys think about that? And now I can move the button. I can rename the button to like send message, right? And then let's like drag it down to like over here on this side, right? What do you guys think? All right, that looks cool. Or should it be in the middle? What do you guys think? And you know, we can also put these like, wait, let me close block 2. Let me select all of this and name it like contact form. Contact form, not contract from. All right, oops. Get in touch should not be in this. Wait, all right, here we are. Now I can move this up and let it be 50 pixels from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50 pixels from the main text, right? Control and S to see what it looks like on the phone screen, and that is pretty cool, right? Like it's literally just like something to fill something to fill the screen, because we need something to fill the screen, right? And what you can do also, you can put like the text for the fields, you can like make them a different color, like a gray, and then you can put them inside of the you can put them inside the actual fields. That way your design is much more like just cleaner looking, right? And you can also align the button to the middle, like just like something like that to make it like really cool. Or you can change this to like join or newsletter or something like that, but you get the idea, right? Yeah, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Oh, I said I wanted to like put it right here, a photo of a laptop right here. And what you can do next is you can even you can, as I mentioned, you can put, well, we're gonna put the photo of the laptop, or I want to put the photo of the laptop, but for the who am I, you could have divided this block into two and just had like the photo over this side and the text over this side if you wanted. But it's not a web design class, we're just designing. It's a design class, not a web design class, right? All right, so this all looks good so far, right? I'm just gonna drag in my photo of my laptop or computer. All right, I'm gonna use this one, and I'm just gonna move it up to block one, and I want to clip it to the shape that we have of block one, the literal rectangle that we have of block one, right? Let me just drag it down. So let's move it up. Oh, well, it's already in block one. Right click, create clipping mask, and oh, we have to turn it on. And you can see where our rectangle is, right here. All right, and if I move this over like so, or I can make this main screen be the focus, whichever I want, right? About there is good. And then I can just like turn the opacity down. That way some of the blue of the block comes through, right? If I go to 50% opacity, you can see that this is what it would look like, right? How cool is that? Control and S to save. Then let's go on our mock-up and see what we got. That is so cool. What do you guys think? Let me go ahead and just literally close all of this. So we have block one, we have our top menu, block one, block two, block three. All right, so what I can do now is I can literally just save this as a JPEG and then literally just bring it onto the second phone screen, right? And to do that, you know, you just double click on the smart object of the second screen. No, I don't want to update anything. And then you'll just literally just drag it here, and you have two phone screens. And you can even change the design of your second screen, obviously, because you just saw how to build all of this from scratch. Now, remember earlier when I said that this video is sponsored by Envato Elements? Envato Elements is the perfect place to go for all your electronic device mockups, whether it's cell phones like we're using today, tablets, laptops, and even desktop computers. Envato Elements has all the perfect graphic templates for you to showcase your graphic designing portfolio. And Envato Elements wants to offer you guys 70% off a month's subscription from their website. 70% off. And all you have to do is hit the first link in this video's description to claim that discount, and it gets even better. With a subscription from Envato Elements, you can download unlimited assets. Unlimited. You can download anything you want at any time you want without any limits. So remember to hit the first link in this video's description to get that discount and to get unlimited downloads. So with all that we've done here today, have you ever designed the layout for a website in Photoshop? If you haven't, how confident are you to get started and to even use it to showcase and add to your graphic design portfolio? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Once again, my name is Cjam, and I will see you guys in the next video.